Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. So I wanted to do a very simple, very much minimal makeup routine using only 5 makeup products. I love to look at minimalist makeup collections. Now don't get me wrong, I'm nosy about anyone's collection no matter the size of it, but there is something more interesting to me about a minimalist collection in the sense that because there is so few products, I want to know why they picked those few products out of everything they could have in their routine. Why did they pick those products specifically? So I have 5 here that I want to talk about, and I will say that if I was an actual minimalist, I would have up to 10 products because I feel like with 5 you are definitely very limited, and I am still someone that loves makeup, so more than likely in a realistic way, if I was a minimalist, I would have at least 10 products, not over that, but at least up to 10 products, just so I could have a slight bit more variety, especially in the lip category, which you'll see what I mean in just a second. But just right quick before we get into this, I want to just mention what skincare I'm wearing because I feel like skincare kind of goes in hand with these minimalist beauty routines. So just right quick, I do use this from Iris and Romeo. This is the Reset Luminous Hyaluronic Serum Spray. As you can see, I am down here at the bottom again. I've gone through several of these. These are incredible. I will definitely keep repurchasing them. They feel so nice, so hydrating on the skin, whether morning or night. You can also use this to spray over your makeup. I don't typically do that. I usually reserve this for just my skincare purposes only for morning and night, but I did want to mention that you can spray it over makeup if you'd like. Then next, I am going in with this also from Iris and Romeo. This is the Skin Cocoon Barrier Glow Serum. I have gone through several of these as well, and this, along with the one I just showed you, are in glass components, which I like when brands do that, when they add that extra step. I just think it makes the products a lot more nice. I really love this serum. It is another that just sinks right into the skin. I don't know, it just makes me feel really nice and hydrated. I really enjoy this as well. This is my last one. I want to be repurchasing this one very soon. And for my SPF, I went in with this from Ilia. This is the Sun Serum Mineral Sunscreen SPF 50, and this one is in the shade Light Medium. I really like this. It does come out with a tint, however, I find that it really does not add a tint to me anyway. Like, I don't really notice that at all. So it's just tinted, I guess, to keep it from being like that, or leaving that white cast that a lot of mineral sunscreens would have, but I don't find that it really adds anything to my skin. So I know there are only 2 shades, but they might work for many people because I don't find that it actually leaves any kind of tint on my skin. But I can only speak for myself personally with that. But I do really enjoy this product. It's lovely. So that is the skincare that I'm wearing. That's also a very simple, minimal routine right there. So let's move on now to the makeup portion. The first thing is also from Ilia. This is their Skin Blur Serum Concealer, and mine is in the shade 3W Chambray. I have talked about this concealer a lot on my channel. It is beautiful on the skin. It provides the coverage that I'm looking for personally. It is not too heavy. It is not too cakey. It's lightweight. Well, I mean, it is considered a serum. I feel like it is a little bit thicker than some serum concealers I've used, but I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a negative way at all. It works. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that right here, and then work with that initially. And I'm going to take this Refi complexion brush. This is their double-sided brush, and we're just going to lightly press that into the skin. You don't really need a lot of this either to create such a nice impact. It just does everything I could ever want from a complexion product. It is just beautiful on the skin. It is one of the products that I reach for the most part, because I know it's going to work on me. It's going to look really nice on my skin. It's going to look good all day on me. That's another thing. This is what I wear when I know that I need my makeup to look good that day. I don't want to fuss with anything. I don't want products that I know that I have to babysit, that I have to touch up, that I have to do this or that. I'm not interested in that. On some of these days where I have to get things done, that I don't have time to really fuss with makeup, these are the products that I'm going to reach for. And I will go ahead and say one little thing. The majority of what you're going to see are from 2 brands specifically, Ilia and Iris and Romeo. I think both of those brands make the makeup products that I tend to gravitate towards anyway. And you can see that's everything I could ever need. It's just simple. I am going to take a little bit of that on my under eyes as well. Just a little dot on both sides. And just start pressing that in. And whatever is left, go also on the lid just a little bit too. I feel like truly these probably would be the two brands I would go for if I was a true minimalist. I mean that I'm somebody that I was not the way I am currently, where I want to try all kinds of new makeup. I think these two brands would be the ones I would gravitate towards the most. Now, the only thing that I do not have from either brand currently are mascara. And ideally, I would have loved to have had the Ilia mascara in the brown shade for this specific video, but I did have that and I got an empty on it, and I have not yet repurchased it simply because I felt like I had a little too many mascaras over there, so I kind of wanted to hold off. Now, I have tried the Iris and Romeo mascara. I had it in a mini, and I mentioned this in my previous empties video, that mascara would work some days for me and then some days it wouldn't. I did have somebody tell me over on Instagram that I should try it again in the full size, like when they do another sale or if there's a sale at Sephora, to try it in the full size, because they seem to have the same issue with the mini but not with the full size. So I am willing to give their mascara another chance, but that is something that I would rather wait and buy at some kind of discount just in case it didn't work for me again. I know mascara is very personal. What works for some might not work for others, vice versa. So I would be up to trying it again, but for the sake of this video, if I had the Ilia one, that's the one I would be using. And see, that's just my routine right there, because it's very minimal, it's easy, it's simple, I just love everything about it. And obviously if I wasn't talking, I could do this makeup in no time. The next thing should be really no secret if you are not new to my channel. Of course, honestly, none of these really should surprise anybody, I guess, because some of these I have talked about quite consistently. This is also from Iris and Romeo. This is their Ceramide Multi Balm, and mine is in the shade Mood Boost. Now this one was sent to me in PR, but I would buy this myself. In fact, I did buy one in another shade, but this shade is my absolute favorite. In fact, it's twisted all the way down, and you might can see just how much I've used of it. Now, I know for those of you who are project panners, or those of you who are already minimalist, that might not look that impressive, but I have quite a lot of blushes in my collection, so the fact I was able to work a blush stick down that much really says something. And there you can see that shade right there. It is so lovely, like that pretty, more peachy than pinky, but it is kind of got a little bit of both in it. But this is just a beautiful everyday shade for me. I love it. Now, I do want to say one of the ingredients in this is mango butter. So this, you can absolutely smell that. Absolutely smell that. And while there is no artificial fragrance in this, that is a very noticeable scent. So I wanted to bring that up in case that might bother you, because I can see that scent being too much for some people. They might not really want to smell that. Now, throughout the day, I don't smell it, but you can very heavily smell it when you first open it. It is not a fragrance, but it is one of the ingredients. I just wanted to mention that. Now I'm going to take this this is the Perfector brush, and I'm going to use the more larger, kind of fluffier side here. You can also draw this directly on your cheeks. I love this blush so very much. And you can use this also on your lips, so it is a little bit of a multitasker in that regard. I might not be getting too much on it when I'm doing this. Usually I draw it on the back of my hand, but I was just going to see if I can make it work like this just for, you know, the reason. And you can see it's just the most beautiful, perfect shade. Perfect for every single day on my skin tone. I just love it so much. I am going to add a little bit of this to the lid just to add something there. It's perfect. It's just the most perfect everyday blush. It's soft. It's so easy to work with. I don't know what it is about it. I love it so much. And even though, yes, this one was sent to me, I would buy it myself. I would run out right now and buy it myself if something happened to this one. If I lost this one for whatever reason, I would go buy it immediately, because I don't want a makeup collection without this product. I love it very, very much. I did buy it. I can't remember what the other shade I did pick up, and that shade's pretty too, but there's something special about this one. This is kind of that everyday shade that I really, really love, that I tend to gravitate towards for those much more simple, easy, everyday kind of looks. Like that pinky peachy shade that I just love, that I think is quite flattering on my undertone especially, because it does have that warmth to it. I won't call it straight up orange for any means. Like when it is in a swatch, it looks very, very warm. But when I have it on the cheeks, I just feel like it's that perfect pinky peachy kind of shade. Or peachy pink, whichever you want to call it. Maybe peachy pink, because it is more peach than pink. But the pink does come out a little bit more on the cheeks. I don't know, there's just something that I really, really love about it. And I just like mentioning it over and over and over because I just think it's pretty. It's just pretty and soft and delicate. Now, if you went in and swiped, you can build this up a little bit quicker than what I'm doing, but I'm someone that I like to go in with smaller amounts each time. I'd rather build up a blush than go in with too much too soon. So this is just a very delicate shade. It's so, so lovely. There's just something so special about it to me. It reminds me a lot of the blush I used to really love from Milani, which I think was Romantic Rose. However, I don't know if mine is just old. The last time I wore that blush, it just turned straight up orange, and not in a good way, like not a good orange blush. I don't know, it oxidized really odd. And I didn't know a blush like that could oxidize, if that's the right word, but it certainly did. But this one reminds me of that shade, but just in like a cream stick, blush stick kind of formula. So I am really happy to have found something in that similar shade that doesn't oxidize strangely on me. And it's just so soft and delicate and just what I'm looking for on a regular basis. And like I said, if I wasn't running my mouth, which I tend to do a lot, then I could do this really quickly. But I like to talk about these, and I want to tell you why I like them so very much. This is just very low effort, very easy, simple makeup products that absolutely work. They work. And I'm just going to consistently reach for them for, I don't know, probably forever, as long as they make them, and please don't ever discontinue them because I'll cry. Okay, the next thing I'm going to go into is this from Iris and Romeo. This is their Brow Up Thickening Brow Balm, and mine is in the shade Brown Black. I love this stuff so very much. This is my favorite tinted brow gel thus far that I've ever tried. It does exactly what I need it to do. It is nicely pigmented, so it fills in the sparseness of my brows, because if you can see, I have a lot of like baldness, if that's what you want to call it, at the tops of my brows, like right in there. And it's not from like over plucking or anything, it's just the way I guess they just grow. This helps solve the problem, and I don't have to go in with a second step. I can just take this and go right through my brows, and it does everything that I need it to do. And it's so simple and easy. Just a one-step brow, and I'm done. Love this. I really wanted to love the one from Merit. However, the one from Merit is not tinted enough in my opinion, but that is me. That is me. I think if it was more tinted, it would probably have been another favorite of mine, but it's just not tinted enough. This one, though, I love absolutely so much. I would definitely run out and repurchase this one. You can only buy this one on the Iris and Romeo website. You can't buy this one from Sephora. I don't really know why that is, but you can't. It's only available on their website, and I do like to mention it every time I talk about this brand. If they are one that you want to use, that you want to try, or just repurchase, well, if you're repurchasing, then you probably are already aware. Definitely buy their products on sale. They are always doing sales on their website. In fact, they did one not too long ago where if you added 3 products to your cart, you got 20% off on your whole order. Take advantage of their sales. They do a lot of sales. Not, I wouldn't rely on Sephora. Unless you can get the 20% off if you're Rouge, like during those sales. But other than that, I would say definitely keep an eye out for Iris and Romeo's own website, because they're always doing discounts. That's how I get my skincare from them as well, because sometimes they'll do discounts on just the skincare. That's a good way to stock up if you're interested in those products as well. And I think Ilia is another one that does pretty good sales occasionally on their website. So always check individual brand websites. I know that a lot of people do talk about the Sephora sales when they come around, and they're good if you're Rouge and can get the 20%, but definitely check individual brands if there's a certain brand you like, because they're doing sales sometimes during the year. So that's definitely a better option, because then everybody can get the 20% or 25 or whatever they're doing. Everybody can get that discount, not just like a certain group like Rouge, for example. Okay, the fourth product here that I'm going to talk about, you know I'm going to talk about it. If this is another one. If you're not new, you know I'm going to talk about this. This is the Ilia Eye Stylish Shadow Stick. Now this one is in Opulent. I have four or five of these, and I love all of them. I will say that if somebody told me I could only have one, I would want Opulent, because this one would be my favorite, because if you can see there, it's such a beautiful shade. It has that brightness to it when the light hits it, you know, like directly like that. Oh, it's so stunning. I love these. I love these. I am constantly rotating them around like every single day. I always like to mention I do get a crease with these, and it is in that spot right there where my actual crease is. They don't crease all over my lid, and they last very well for an eyeshadow stick, because I've had some eyeshadow sticks that crease all over my eyelid and then they fade into nothing. I don't have that issue with these. These are some of the best eyeshadow sticks that I've tried thus far. I don't have like a ton of them in my collection, like individual eyeshadow sticks from different brands, but I don't even know if a brand can compare to these, to be honest, in my opinion. I zoomed you back out after I finished the brows, but I need to zoom you back in so I can show you this. And this is the shade Opulent, like I said, but I like all the shades I have. They're so pretty. I feel like if they have a shade you like, now the shimmer ones only, I don't like the matte ones. The matte ones were too drying for me personally, but I really love the shimmer ones. I mean, just look at that. I love these so much. I don't even care about eyeshadow anymore, like powder eyeshadow, and after trying these, I mean, I shouldn't say I don't care about powder eyeshadow. That's not right. I do still like eyeshadow, and I like to look at eyeshadow palettes and stuff like that, and there are some that definitely tempt me. But when I see how pretty this is, it's like, what palette? What palette? When I can have something like this that is simple and easy and what I like for every single day, why would I not want this? They're just so pretty. I love them so much. I've talked about them a ton. I also talk about how I'd love to have all the shades in the shimmer versions because of how beautiful they are. The next one I want is the one that's like a mint color. That one is stunning. Like, absolutely stunning. Okay, and the fifth product that I want to talk about, now this is where I was talking about the mascaras earlier. Ideally for this video, I would have loved to have had the one from Ilia in the brown shade. However, I love this mascara. This is a good mascara. This is from Cali Ray. This is the Come Hell or High Water mascara. Now this one is in Secret Spot, which is their brown. I love a brown mascara, and if I was an actual true minimalist, I would only want a brown mascara. I don't know, I just like them. Now, okay, on me, most of the time the browns end up looking like a soft black. I still like the idea of them. I still would probably have a brown over the black mascara. And the Iris and Romeo only comes in a black shade right now. I'm hoping they'll add a brown in the future. I would like to see that. I feel like that would make a lot of sense for their brand to have a brown. Maybe eventually they'll release one. So I'm just going to curl my lashes right quick, and I'm going to apply this mascara. But this is a really beautiful mascara. It is one of my favorites as well. I mean, it would have just been kind of nice for the sake of the video to have one from Ilia, or if I try the Iris and Romeo one again, because I'm not opposed to that, but specifically the Ilia one, because I've tried that one and that one's really good. I love that one. But I do like this one from Cali Ray. It is a tubing mascara, so it comes off really easily in the little tubes with just some water. Okay, and there's just one coat of that mascara versus nothing, and I did not add too much of a coat either. I just kind of kept it more of a simple layer, but it is a beautiful, beautiful mascara. So don't get me wrong, just because I felt like it would have been nice to have had the Ilia one for this video, simply because I'm specifically talking about them and Iris and Romeo, this is still an amazing mascara. I love this one. There's a lot of high-end mascaras that I favor. This one, the one from Refi, the Makeup by Mario, the Tower 28. The Ilia one is really good as well, and that would have been nice to have for this video, but I love all the ones I just mentioned. So lastly, I'm going to go back into the Iris and Romeo Ceramide Multi Balm, because you can use this on your lips. What I'm going to do is take my finger. You could just, you know, apply it, but it is kind of a chunkier blush stick for that. So I'm just going to take my finger and press that on the lips. Now see, this is what I mean when I say that realistically, if I was a minimalist, I'd have more than 5 products because I would have wanted a separate lip balm or something like that. I'm going to apply it directly with this. And then kind of smooth over it like this. It is very pretty on the lips. Definitely it is better if you swipe. You get more pigment that way, obviously. But that is where I would want more products because I would love to have like a lip liner and then a separate lip for that. But for the point of the video, we only used 5 makeup products to achieve this makeup look. These products are absolutely beautiful. This is the face of makeup that I can go to every single day, and I know it's going to be comfortable. It's going to work for me. I'm not going to have any issues with it. It's not going to cause me any problems. It's just a very simple, easy, very much minimalist routine that works, and something that I actually do use and go for. The only thing that I do change up is the lips. I like separate lip products, but for the point of the video, I wanted to use just the 5. And I just really love this. But, you know, I would love to hear from all of you if you have 5 products that you can't live without. It doesn't matter what they are. Like, what are 5 products, whether you're a minimalist or not? What are 5 makeup products that you really love? If you have a top 5 in your collection, products that you can't go without, I would love to hear what they are because, I mean, hey, I'm always looking to try new makeup because I'm definitely not a minimalist for sure. Not at this point in my life. Maybe someday I might consider being a makeup minimalist. Who knows? But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. And make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and follow me on Instagram at jessicadeerly. All of these products will be listed and linked for you below, as well as in the YouTube shopping tag feature, and if you click there and purchase, I do earn a small commission. And if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!